The most financially secure person on your street probably looks a little broke. That's not a coincidence. It's a decision, and there are rules behind it. Picture two houses, same street, built the same year, worth about the same on paper. One driveway has a new truck, a boat under a cover, and a lawn someone clearly pays for. The other has a 10-year-old sedan with a scratch on the door and a garage you've never seen open. Point to the wealthy one, and almost everyone picks the first house. Almost everyone is wrong. The family with the boat is probably one slow month away from selling it. The family with the scratched sedan quietly owns more than half the street combined, and they built it by following a handful of quiet rules that make them look like they have nothing, on purpose. I'm going to walk you through those rules, and one of them, the one hiding inside a single monthly payment, can be worth close to $1 million. I'll show you the exact math in about 2 minutes. Let's start. Because here's what almost nobody says out loud. Looking rich and being rich are two different games. Most people spend their whole lives winning the wrong one. Think of your money as living in two places. There's the spotlight, the car, the watch, the kitchen, everything other people can see. And there's the vault, the part nobody sees, the money quietly working while you sleep. Every dollar you spend to shine in the spotlight is a dollar that never reaches the vault. That's the whole trap, because the spotlight is loud and the vault is silent. So we spend years decorating the one thing that can never actually make us free. And there's a reason it's so hard to step off. Every upgrade feels incredible for about 3 weeks, then quietly becomes your new normal. The thrill fades, so you reach for the next one to feel it again. The scenery never changes, you're just running faster. And here's the cruel part. The faster your income climbs, the faster the belt speeds up beneath you. Looking rich was never a destination. It's a machine built to keep you exactly where you started. The wealthy noticed this early. They stopped competing in the spotlight, where everyone can see the score, and started competing in the vault, where almost no one can. Looking broke is simply what a full vault looks like from the outside. Now let me show you what the spotlight actually costs, because it's worse than people admit. Start with the car, the loudest status symbol we own. Going into 2026, the average new car payment reached nearly $750 a month. And about 1 in 5 new loans now runs over $1,000. To survive that, people stretch loans past 6, even 7 years, paying interest on something built to lose value the second it leaves the lot. As a country, we now owe more than $1.6 trillion on cars alone. And the car is only the opening act. A bigger house pulls a bigger tax bill behind it. Bigger insurance, more empty rooms begging to be filled. Credit card rates sit around 21%. So for millions of people, looking wealthy isn't just expensive, it's rented at a punishing price. Roughly 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And here's the number that should stop you. Nearly 40% of people earning 6 figures do too. So walk down your own street again. That boat, that new truck, that little flicker of they made it. A large share of it is being financed by people who are one bad month from a crisis. The look is real. The wealth usually isn't. Which brings us to that $1 million rule I promised. Here's the calculation almost nobody runs before they sign. Take one ordinary car payment. Call it $750. Instead of handing it to a lender, you drive a paid-off used car. Quietly send that same money into a simple index fund every month, and then you forget about it. In 10 years, that one habit grows past $120,000. Let it run for 30, and you're standing on close to $1 million. So the real choice was never nice car or boring car. It was a nicer car right now, or almost $1 million later. That's the entire game, hiding inside a single monthly payment. Every dollar spent looking wealthy is a dollar that can never go to work becoming wealthy. And once that lands, these rules stop feeling like sacrifice and start feeling like a cheat code. So here's the quiet playbook. In the order that matters. Rule 1, let the raise disappear. Most people treat a raise as permission to upgrade their whole life. A nicer car, a bigger place, spending that creeps a half step ahead of every paycheck. The wealthy do the reverse. When income rises, their lifestyle mostly holds still, and the difference slides straight into the vault. A raise isn't permission to spend more. It's a chance to widen the gap between what you earn and what you live on. And that gap, not your salary, is what quietly becomes freedom. But that gap only survives if you protect it, which is where the next rule comes in. Rule 2. Buy the boring version on purpose. There's a well-known finding about real millionaires. Most tie up only a tiny slice of their wealth in cars. They buy used, they buy quality, they drive it into the ground. That's not cheap, it's clear. A reliable car that gets you there is doing its whole job. The badge on the hood adds cost, not function. Run that logic through your entire life, and the plain, dependable version usually gives you 90% of the experience for half the price. And the other half goes into the vault. This, right here, is looking broke on purpose. It was never a sacrifice. It's a choice. Rule 3. Automate the saving and slow down the spending. Pay close attention here, because this is the rule most people skip. And it's the reason all the others quietly fall apart. It has nothing to do with willpower, which runs out at exactly the wrong moments, when you're tired or stressed or scrolling at midnight. So don't rely on it. Move money into your investments automatically the day you're paid, before it ever feels spendable. Then add friction to spending. Delete the shopping apps, remove the saved cards, and put a one-day wait between wanting something and buying it. Most cravings fade on their own, if you just refuse to act in the moment. The trick was never to be stronger than temptation. It's to never meet it in the first place. Rule 4. Decide what enough is before the money arrives. High earners get trapped because they never draw a finish line. So every raise shoves the target further out, and they feel as stretched at 300,000 as they did at 80. The quietly wealthy decide in advance what a sufficient home, a sufficient car, and a sufficient life actually look like, then let every dollar past that line build the vault. They didn't earn dramatically more than everyone else. They just stopped moving the goalpost every single time they got close to it. Rule 5. Mute the highlight reel. Most of the pressure to look rich doesn't even come from your real life. It pours out of a screen, showing you a curated highlight reel of people performing a prosperity they mostly can't afford. You're not keeping up with the wealthy. You're keeping up with other stretched people who happen to be very good at lighting. Follow fewer accounts that exist to sell you a lifestyle, and the urge to buy your way into belonging goes quiet, almost on its own. Let me make this real with two people you've probably worked beside. Same job, hired the same week, same starting salary. The first one celebrates by leasing the car that matches the title and renting the apartment that stretches the budget. The second keeps the old car and quietly rotates a fifth of every paycheck into the vault before it ever touches checking. For years, the first one looks like the winner. Then a recession hits, and both get laid off the same morning. The one who looked rich takes the first job that calls, because the payments never paused. The one who looked broke takes 3 months, turns down the wrong offers, and accepts the right one on their own timeline. Same salary the whole way through. The only real difference was which one they spent a decade buying, the appearance of wealth or the real thing. If this is landing for you, it's the kind of breakdown I make here every week, the quiet mechanics of money, without the noise. And here's the honest part, maybe the most important line in this whole video. None of these rules hold if the foundation underneath them is missing. You can decide to invest the car payment, but if you don't really understand how compounding works, you'll panic and sell the first time the market drops and erase years of progress in a single afternoon. The people who stay wealthy aren't following more rules than everyone else. They understand the few they follow deeply enough that the rules hold even when things get loud. That's exactly why I built a full breakdown of the basics on this channel, the real place to start before any of these rules can actually stick. So go back to that street. 2 houses, the boat and the scratched sedan. You see them differently now, don't you? You know which family is more likely trapped and which one is quietly free, and you know the gap between them was never really about income. It was about which game they chose to play. The wealthy worked this out a long time ago. The goal was never to look rich. The goal was to be free, and freedom is quiet. It doesn't need a badge, an audience, or a boat in the driveway. It only asks you to stop paying for the opinion of people who aren't paying your bills, and to send that money somewhere that finally sets you free. So the next time you feel that pull to prove something to a street that isn't even watching, remember the scratch sedan. The richest move you can make is almost always the one nobody can see.